Warning, you reverse the curse and snatch your power back instantly. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Warning, you reverse the curse and snatch your power back instantly. Now, somebody drop in the comments and say, I got my power back. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I got my power back. Now, when I say curse, I know the mass majority of people watching this video is thinking about witchcraft, a person casting a spell on somebody, utilizing magic, black magic, white magic, whatever the case is. Them literally signing a deal with the devil or a demon, okay? And now they have their souls in this contract and they can't get out. I know what you're thinking when I say curse. And although that can be the case for some people in specific times, that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. When I say curse, sometimes it can feel like a curse of being in a perpetual state of poverty, right? Sometimes it can feel like a curse of being in a perpetual cycle of negative events. Sometimes you can feel cursed when you consistently fail, right? You have people in the world and people who are of these great families, but they can't seem to see themselves as great. Why? Because they think that they are a failure, right? Then you have people who are in this family who does the same thing. They all get a job. They all work here. They all get their regular ranch house. And maybe this person feel like I'm going to fall in this same line of failure. That can act as a mental curse, right? This is why we're so heavy in this era and in this society of breaking generational curses, right? Breaking generational curses. But a lot of people don't necessarily be specific on the curse that they're trying to break. Somebody drop in the comments and say, be specific. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, be specific. So I want to speak about some specific things within this video, but more importantly, I want to disclose how you snatched your power back, right? We're going to talk about the solution way more than we talk about the problem, right? Let me say that once again, y'all. We're going to talk about the solution way more than we talk about the problem. Why? Because those who are, solutions, they become wealthy, rich. They have opportunities, jobs. They become commodities and assets. Those who are only worried about problems and becoming a problem, they are liabilities. They get fired. They get laid off, furloughed. Nobody want to talk to them and all that jazz. So what I want y'all to realize is we're going to talk about how we got our power back. Now, I know I'm dealing with three types of people on this video. We're dealing with someone who already snatched their power back. We're dealing with someone who's in the process of snatching their power back. And we're dealing with the other one, y'all, which is a person who is trying to figure out how to snatch their power back. And so if you're watching this video, then you have clicked on the right one, on snatching your power back. But understand something, y'all. You must first reverse the curse. And once you do that, you then allow yourself to snatch your power back, all right? But family, as y'all can see, we are on the legendary couch, all right? The legendary great couch, y'all. Second video of today. Yes, y'all. It is still April the 7th, or AKA the 7th day of April, y'all. I had something basic to eat. I had some jalapeno cheddar sausages with some coleslaw, and it was banging, all right? I did that, y'all. Something basic. I know somebody gonna say, but Reno, you're supposed to be a health fanatic. You're supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, I'm not. I am Reno Speaks Riches. But with that being said, y'all, here we are. Let's go ahead and get directly into it. Y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Let's do it, y'all. First thing is first, number one. Now, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in because this is going to be a video that's going more into depth, more educational, but also explaining how you actually snatch your power back. So stay tuned in to the very end of this video. Don't click off, y'all. Number one, You broke the stronghold, okay? You broke the stronghold. Now, when I say stronghold, I know a lot of people think stronghold of a person, stronghold of a family, stronghold can be used as a drug, stronghold, things that are utilized to control you, right? That's what we have been taught what a stronghold is. Well, I actually did some research myself, y'all. This is why I am here. A stronghold is a place that has been fortified so as to protect it against attack. Let me say it once again, y'all. A stronghold is a place that has been fortified so as to protect it against attack. Now, what I just told you what a stronghold was before I read the definition is two different things, right? And biblically, it technically means the same thing. But this is what I realized about a stronghold. See, a stronghold is a place that we are inside of, and it's supposed to keep us protected from something. But what if that thing that has you in that stronghold is not really protecting you, but it is actually attacking you? See, sometimes, y'all, when you look at this stronghold, a stronghold can be that drug, that person, right? That family, that environment, that state of mind. It can be that. And you can find comfort in that stronghold. And as you're finding comfort within that stronghold, it is actually protecting you, although it's toxic, but it is protecting you from anything that's trying to save you. It recognizes it as an attack. I told y'all this right here is going to be deep. See, what I'm trying to get you to realize is that stronghold that can be a drug, family, friend, job, addiction, anything that is toxic, if you find comfort in that, what it actually does is it acts as a stronghold and it protects you from the attack, except the attack is actually trying to help you, but it's recognizing it as an attack. Let me break it down for you. Let's just say you with a abusive man, but you found comfort in him, right? And so you run to him for everything and anything. You know that he ain't good for you. However, you still stay there. And so what happens is he becomes your stronghold, and you sit around him and you sit around him. And then you got mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, best friend, okay? Positive influences, assuming they positive, right? But positive influences who's trying to tell you, hey girl, you may want to do this. Hey girl, don't do that. Hey girl, come over here. We're trying to help you. And that stronghold naturally protects you from anything that's trying to attack it. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? See, in your mind, you're thinking what's good is bad and what's bad is good. We have to reverse that stronghold. Get around those positive influences, and then those positive influences become your stronghold, right? To where anything negative that's trying to come in, now that stronghold is still being a stronghold, but it is protecting you from anything that's trying to harm, destroy, or hurt you. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? That's a stronghold. Once you break that stronghold, you then reverse the curse. Okay, somebody drop in the comments and say, I reversed the curse. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I reversed the curse. Okay, now I'm going to give y'all some examples of some strongholds, right? The spirit of fear, that's a stronghold. Okay, this spirit of perversion, right? The spirit of lying, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of bondage, the spirit of seducing, the spirit of poverty. Okay, so if you become very accustomed to the spirit of fear, then guess what? It's a stronghold. So it's going to protect you from anything that acts as courage, bravery, strength. It's going to protect you from that. You thinking that I'm safe, but really it's just a stronghold. It's protecting you from anything that's trying to attack it. That's why some people never grow to be courageous. They stay within that stronghold of fear, right? Of fear, right? The spirit of fear. Perversion. lying, all right, bondage, poverty. Some people stay trapped in poverty because they can't break the stronghold, right? And their mentalities is programmed to stay there. So anybody who speaks wealth, anybody who speaks riches, anybody who speaks anything other than poverty, that stronghold says, they trying to attack us. We need to stay here in poverty. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Strongholds. All right. Number 2, this right here is big. You made a choice. Okay. You made a choice. See, what people don't realize is not making a choice is still making one. Okay. If I decide as a woman, okay, if I'm going to go to a club, and I'm going to just say this, y'all, a woman in a committed relationship or a marriage, right? A committed relationship or a marriage, all right? And let's just say as a woman, I go to a club or I go to a bar. And again, what business do I have going to a club if I'm a committed woman? But anyway, let's just say I go to a club, I go to a bar, I go to a party, whatever the case is. I am minding my business. Okay, the party going on, they playing music, they playing Chris Brown, Usher, and we doing our thing, y'all, right? However, a man just walk up to me as a woman, and he approaches me, and I have not made the choice to walk away. I have not made the choice to decline or reject him, right? But I also have not made a choice to stop talking. I also have not made a choice to remove myself, right? So what I'm saying is, y'all, is that although she ain't say, get away from me, right? She also did not remove herself, which means she is still making a choice without even making one. She just minding her business. And she entertaining the conversation. She's entertaining, what's going on. She's entertaining the guy. But someone would say, well, Reno, she ain't did nothing. He walked up on her. She ain't make a choice, which means she made one. She made a choice by staying in the environment. But she ain't doing that wrong. Yes, she did. She's a committed woman in a committed relationship. That means that it's not about what the other person do. It's about what you do, right? It's not about what he said. It's about how you respond. Now, if it becomes forcible, then of course, then now we got to get the laws involved, or we got to get another authority figure involved to stop this matter, because obviously he's a weirdo. But the point of what I'm saying, y'all, is when you don't make a choice, you still make a choice. Reno, what you mean by this? Let me tell you like this, y'all. So I have found it to be true that a lot of religious people can be hypocrites. Yep. A lot of religious people can be hypocrites. Why? Because if you make a choice, then you got to stick with it. It's those who are claiming to be this and claiming to be that, but you're still dancing on the other side. You still dancing with the devil. You still dancing and lean with it and rocking with it and walking it out with demons. But you claim to be religious though. This ain't just going for Christians, right? This Muslims, this is Buddhists, this is Hinduists, Judaism, Jehovah's Witness. I don't care what religion it is. A lot of religious people can be hypocrites, okay? And so you have to make a choice. You know what I respect about certain people, y'all? I respect a person who say, listen, this is how I live my life. This is what I do. This is how I do it. It's not that they are explaining it, but they are making it clear that, hey, this is how I live my life. I have made my choice. Versus the person who want to play Holified, Sanctified on Sunday. They want to play Holified, Sanctified on any time it is a holiday or any time they're serving God or the Lord. And then you catch them out here, partying with the sinners. Make a choice, right? Then you got some Muslims out here who don't supposed to be eating pork. And then you catch them eating a rib sandwich. Rib tips with barbecue sauce on it. I'm just saying, make your choice. Which one is it, right? Which one is it? That's all I'm saying, y'all. And so when you reverse the curse, y'all, it is the moment, and snatch your power back, it is the moment you make your choice. No, I'm not going to be with you. No, I'm not going to sleep with you. No, I'm not going to have that conversation. No, I'm not going to work at that job. No, I'm not going to that particular church. It makes me uncomfortable. No, I'm not going to do this particular thing with X, Y, or Z. No, make your choice. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I made my choice. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I made my choice. When you are indecisive, a person will play on that as a weakness. Number 3, y'all, you have control over your emotions. You have control over your emotions. So when I say this, y'all know where I'm going with this. It is basic emotional intelligence. So keep these 4 keys in mind, right? Keep these 4 keys in mind. Understanding emotions, using emotions, managing emotions, and perceiving emotions. I'm going to say that once again, y'all. Understanding emotions, using emotions, managing emotions, and perceiving emotions. I'm going to break down each one. You have to understand the emotions of yourself, others, and those who are around you. Understand the emotions of which they are expressing it and explaining it. You have to understand emotions. Is this anger? Is this depression? Is this personal? Is this coming from within? Is this projection? Understand the emotion, right? Understand the place that they are coming from. Using emotions. You got to know when to use your emotions and when not to use it. Point blank, period. I can't use a craftsman key. And for those who have put their bed together or did things like fix, it's big with beds, right? But a craftsman's key is that thing that look like a hexagon, and you can put your bed together with it. That little small little key. You can't fix a door that takes a screwdriver to fix. Like, you can't use the same tools for each gadget. You just can't. So you got to know when to use your emotions and when not to use your emotions. You got to know when to be empathetic and when not to be empathetic. All right? Who to be empathetic with. Managing your emotions. How much of your emotions to use? How much of your emotions to hold back? Management is key. And y'all know what I always say. Whatever you don't manage, you will lose. Point blank, period. And the last thing is perceiving emotions, which means you have to be able to observe, right? And pay attention to the perception in which you are surrounded by. So once you understand those 4 keys, y'all, you master emotional intelligence, okay? If a person cheat on you or break up with you, you can't get mad and go to their job and bust the windows out their car, literally, like the song said, okay? You can't go to their job and threaten them. You're going to go to prison. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get you a charge. So it is about how you manage your emotions. Become the controller of your emotions. I read in this book before, and I think I said this before, y'all, but I read in this book and it said, he who angers you conquers you. If a person can make you mad, make you cry, make you depressed, if they can pull your emotional strings, then guess what? You don't have control over your emotions. They do. All right. Number 4, y'all. And y'all know that's coming right after emotions. Control over your mind. Okay. Control over your mind. You have to have control over your mind. I'm going to give y'all this story, y'all. So y'all know I'm from Douglas, Georgia, small country town. I done said this story about 50 times because I done been on YouTube, y'all, for about 2-3 years now. Okay. But, and actually, y'all, I've been on YouTube for about 15 years. But as far as in this niche, I've been on here for about 2-3 years. But anyway, I'm from Douglas, Georgia, y'all. It's a small town, not too many people there, small population. Population is no more than 20,000 to 50,000 people. I don't really think it's 50,000 people. I'm going to give it like a smooth 30. Maybe it done grew a little bit, but anyway, I come from a small town. Y'all get the gist of it. And so we know about everybody. You know everybody. You know who's screwing who. You know who talking to who. You know who family with who. You know who own this. It's just very small, right? And so it was these twins. They looked exactly alike, and they were extremely weird. They were extremely weird. And I would ask my mom, "Hey, Mom, who are those?" And she would tell me, "Who are them?" I'm saying, "Who are those? Who are them? And who are they?" And she would tell me that them boys were really smart. They went to college. They were really smart, and they just made a bad decision. I said, "What was the decision?" She said that someone put Visine in their drinks, right? If y'all don't know, if you put Visine in a person's drink, you can mentally mess them up. I don't know if it's guaranteed, but I know it's a high probability. If a person put Visine in your drink, it will mess you up bad, big time. So when she told me this, I was like, wow. So they were, walking around the city, talking to themselves, doing jumping jacks while walking miles. You would catch them walking from the east side to the north side to the south side to the west side, back to the south side. Like, they were that involved within the community, but not involved in the community in terms of paying for things and helping people out and feeding the homeless. And they were involved in the community in terms of when it's raining outside, they walking in the rain. When it's hot outside, they walking and it's hot outside. The point, what I'm saying, y'all, is that they lost control over their mind. It's like they really lost their mind. Literally, they lost their mind, right? They didn't have control over it. And I seen how some smart men could go from being extremely intelligent, going to college and doing all the right things, to being junkies, being extremely weird, talking to themselves, almost schizophrenic, right? Because of one bad decision. Okay, and so all I'm simply saying is, y'all, when you lose control over your mind, it is a bad situation, y'all. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. All right. Number 5, y'all, it's gonna be the last thing. You got to detox your spirit. All right. Somebody drop in the comments and say, cleanse your spirit. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, cleanse your spirit. You have to clean your spirit. You got to detox your spirit, y'all, because I know it's certain things that you're not proud of, just like it's certain things that I'm not proud of, and the next person is not proud of. But what you want to do is cleanse your spirit. And I'm going to tell y'all this story right here, y'all, and I'll tell you how you can cleanse your spirit. When I was in college, y'all, I had like some lady friends. I was, of course, a ladies' man, so I would have like a good bit of lady friends, to be honest with y'all. And so one thing I noticed that they all had in common was, they would want to take back who they slept with. Just being honest. They were like, I would ask them this question, like, if you regret anything in your past, like, what would it be? And it will always be like, I regret laying down with this dude, or dealing with this guy because they didn't deserve it, or whatever the case is. And I just kind of noticed that. And so what happened was, y'all, is that I realized if you look at who they were, some of them was the same. They never changed. But if you look at who they were and pay attention to what they were becoming and who they were starting to act like, two different individuals. And so I noticed something. They had to detox their spirit in order to build and gain a new one, right? Like, I know it's multiple women who were strippers and now they're preachers and now they're business women, right? There are multiple men who were drug dealers and in the streets and running with gorillas, and now they're preachers and pastors and entrepreneurs and better fathers. What I'm saying is, y'all, is they had to detox their spirit. They had to transform and morph into something else, or else they were going to continue to keep attracting the same type of spirit. You ever notice that, man, I'm dealing with a different face, but it seemed like I know this person. Yeah, different face, same spirit. Different face, same spirit. That's why nothing changed until you change, right? And so some ways to detox your spirit, y'all, is to remove negative energy and replace it with positive energy, right? Remove negative energy and replace it with positive energy. Cultivate gratitude and surround yourself in positive environments. What I mean by cultivating gratitude is becoming more thankful. Okay, and then of course, y'all, placing yourself around positive environments, in positive environments as well. Meditation, journaling, immersing yourself within nature, right? Going back to like your roots, y'all. These are things that help you detox your spirit. You're becoming a different person. Okay. And so with that being said, y'all, this is how you snatch your power back, y'all. You got to reverse that curse, snatch that power back. All right. Guarantee you, y'all, it will be worth it. But with that being said, y'all, a quick recap and then we'll conclude this video. Number one, you broke the stronghold. Okay. Number two, you made a choice. Number three, you have control over your emotions. Number four, you have control over your mind. And number five, y'all, you have detoxed your spirit. All right. Y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all get one of those Yes Sir t-shirts, book a one-on-one session with me, enroll into my social influence course, as well as check out any one of my books, y'all. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.